Hey everyone, welcome to Heisei Week 2. My name is Stephen James, Production Specialist for Bluefin, and I'm here to talk to you today about some of the different projects that we have going on for Heisei Week. So first and foremost, just like Writer Week, we're doing another Henshin video. That was actually one of my first major projects that I did here at Bluefin. It was a lot of fun just to see everyone's collaboration coming together, so very excited to see how this one turns out. I'm going to offer a couple different guidelines just to help you make the best possible Henshin video and just to make sure that we're all on the same page and that this is the best possible product and the best representation of all of you Kamen Rider fans out there. Okay, so the important stuff out of the way, the deadline to submit your videos is August 4th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Once again, August 4th at 3 p.m. It's a Wednesday, it's a week from now. It should give you all plenty of time to work on your video. Anything that's submitted past that particular deadline, I can't guarantee that it's going to be in there just because we have a very quick turnaround. So please, August 4th, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, submit your videos. And I'll tell you a little bit later on where you can submit those videos to. Okay, so the biggest thing that I want to tell you all about is just what you can and cannot include in the video. Now, there is a text document as well that's included that kind of talks about all these different rules and guidelines that I'm going over, but I want to just share it with you as well, just because some people are visual learners and I think it helps reiterate the point a little bit more. First and foremost, please do not use any video clips, sound clips, or music from any Kamen Rider series. And the reason for that is just because of copyright issues. We did have a couple situations where Henshin videos from Writer Week had to have their audio completely cut out or reduced, or we had to do some creative editing to get around all those situations. So please, once again, no sound effects, no music, no video clips featured in any Kamen Rider series. Now, this does not necessarily apply to any Kamen Rider accessories that you might have. So for example, if you're using a belt to perform in your video, if you're using toys or different accessories, those are okay. The key thing is we just cannot have anything that was taken directly from the show. So some of you actually went above and beyond and recreated some of your favorite scenes from Kamen Rider. That's amazing. We would love to see that again if you have the time and the will to do so. Just keep in mind the same copyright issues that we just talked about. And if you have the capabilities to add visual effects, go for it. That is completely up to you. We are totally in favor of that. If you don't, no worries. It's totally fine. Just, again, use your creativity, get out there, do something. But the biggest thing is the copyright situations. Just please be mindful of those. So with that being said, any Kamen Rider themed attire, cosplay, accessories, and the like, those are 100% allowed to be in your video. So if you've got a full new costume that you want to try out, if you have just one of the helmets or maybe even a belt or maybe just a t-shirt that says Kamen Rider on it, please, by all means, you are more than welcome to wear those in your videos. The only caveat to that is do not mix different IPs, just because that does cause a bit of a copyright situation in itself. So for example, don't perform a Henshin wearing Tanjiro's cloak or wearing an Iron Man helmet or something along those natures. Please just wear something that's Kamen Rider themed or neutral themed. That's totally great. If you have different products in the background, like you can see in my video here, that's totally fine. We don't mind that. We just don't want mixing of the IPs on the physical person themselves. So please keep that in mind when considering doing cosplays or dress-ups for this. To the best of your ability, try to keep your videos to under 30 seconds. Going a couple of seconds over is not a big deal. We can work with that. If we get videos that are a minute to a minute 30, again, we're just gonna have to cut down on those a little bit, only because we had so many submissions from Writer Week and we want to make sure that everybody is getting an equal representation in this. So again, try to keep your videos to under 30 seconds to the best of your ability. Going over 31, 32 seconds, it's not going to be the end of the world. Just, we don't want to see a lot of people doing 10, 15-second videos and then some others doing 45 seconds to a minute, because again, we want to give equal representation to everybody that submits their products to us. And then another tip that'll hopefully just make the editing process a little bit smoother at the end of the day, when you are recording your videos, just give yourself a couple of seconds in the beginning and a couple of seconds at the end. This is mostly just to make life easier for myself as the editor, because when you have a couple of seconds at the beginning where you're just standing there and then a couple of seconds at the end where you're doing the exact same thing, it gives me a clean cutting point to transition to the next person versus having to get creative when someone's turning the camera off or making adjustments on the fly and only recording the actual Henshin stuff. So again, as the editor, I can take care of all that stuff for you guys. You all don't need to worry about it. If you want to take your hand at video editing, you are more than welcome to do whatever adjustments you need to do on your clip. But just note that if you just give me the raw, unedited footage, I can take care of that and you don't have to sweat it one bit. And then one of the biggest changes that we're doing this year for the Henshin video is all videos are going to be submitted to a secure OneDrive link. So that's going to pop up right here on the screen. It's also going to be in the video description below. So once your video is done, just click on that link, head on over to OneDrive, you'll upload your video. You'll also have a process to put in your first name and last name in there as well, just so we can contact you if any issues come about. So for example, if your video gets uploaded but it's a corrupted file, or it doesn't work right with my system, or there's just an issue that we want you to resolve before we get that video finalized, it gives us that contact information so we can reach out to you to make sure that your video is absolutely represented. The preferred video formats that you can upload are MOV, MP4, and AVI. I can usually work with anything else that you throw my way as well. However, those three are the easiest to work with in my editing software. So if you have those, great. If you don't know how to convert those, that's totally fine. Just send me what you have and I can work with that on my end as well. And the reason why a lot of this stuff I'm saying is preferred or recommended is just because it makes my life a little bit easier. So that way I can just drag, drop, make minor trims here and there, because we do have a very quick turnaround time for this video. I don't want it to delay, and I want you all to see the final product sooner rather than later. So there you have it. Again, preferred video formats, MOV, MP4, AVI. If you don't have any one of those, or you don't know how to convert your video file because it's something completely different, send it to me anyway, and I will be sure to take a look at it. So that takes care of it for the logistical side of things. The biggest thing that I also want to explain to you all is just the video formatting and how to record it. The greatest thing about the new era is everybody has an HD camera pretty much right in their pocket. So your phone is totally fine. Some of you, I'm sure, have fancier camera equipment at home. That's great too. A webcam also works out. It doesn't necessarily matter what you're recording with. Just if you have something that can record video, go for it. So the biggest recording tip that I can offer to help make your videos look amazing and really stand out, try to record everything in a landscape format, which is in this way on a cell phone, as you can see here. The reason for that is it records everything in widescreen, and it just gives you a lot more room to work with. It just looks a little bit cleaner, looks a little bit nicer. With that being said, if you record everything in portrait mode, which is kind of traditionally how people do everything this way anyway, it's not the end of the world. I'm still going to be able to work with it. I'm still going to include it in the final product. The only caveat is it's going to be a little bit more cramped, and it's going to look a little bit different from the rest of the videos. So again, to the best of your ability, if you can, landscape is preferred, portrait is totally fine. We're going to accept these videos no matter what. Again, the reason why I'm telling you all these tips is just because I want you, the individual, to be represented in the best possible way when you submit these videos. So these are just helpful tips that I'm offering to try and take your videos to the next level. So with that being said, if you live with somebody who can easily record the video for you, great. If you have a tripod, amazing. You can just set that up and forget about it. If you can't comfortably or safely get somebody to film it for you, that's totally fine. Again, webcams work out fine. Get some books, stack them together to hold your phone in a proper location. Another tip that I've done actually several times before is prop my phone up so that way it's sitting against a wall or a bookshelf or just something that keeps it propped up, and then just record using the front-facing camera so that way you can actually see what you're recording versus having different weird angles and cutoffs and things like that. So just do what you can to the best of your ability. My email is included in all this information, so if you have any other questions or you're looking for suggestions, recommendations, I am more than happy to help out in this process. Please try to get your videos in early. I'm going to be compiling and editing as they come in, so I'll be very, very busy for the next week and a half, but I am very excited to see what the final product looks like. I had a lot of fun working on the first one, and I cannot wait to see what you all have in store for this upcoming Heisei week. Okay, everybody, that's all I have. Thank you for your time. Hopefully these tips and tricks help make your video skyrocket to the next level. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to myself, David Clark, or AJ if you have any other questions or concerns. Can't wait to see the final product, and I'll talk to you all later.